price of Bitcoin is $42,741. The price just declined very quickly in a 1-minute candle, as did the price of Solana, because the Solana network right now is down. The market is crashing because of a sudden loss of confidence, because Solana has broken again. What a great surprise there. Couldn't get any better timing, because for me, I'd literally, because the technical analysis said so, had opened a position on Solana, and now that position is losing about $1,000. So the question is for me, do I close this Solana position here, or do I leave it open? And from there, are we trading the price of Ethereum today? Is everything going to recover to the upside and start pumping? Because from a technical point of view, it's starting to look better and better and better. However, we've not yet had a breakout. And as I said, we need to be careful about where we enter our trades here, because Bitcoin is in a narrowing range. The amount of profit that you can make from trading Bitcoin is decreasing right now because of that narrowing range, meaning that the chop is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and there are less moves to make on the market right now. So from that perspective, because we are in a narrowing range, because there is getting less and less volatility, that volatility is going to pop at some point in time. It's either going to go upwards very quickly or downwards very quickly. And we're going to assess that in today's video. If that sounds interesting to you, slap a like on today's video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And let's crack on with what we've got to assess here. And first of all, looking at the damage of some of these trades, we've got a couple of different trades open right now. You can see that I'm long on Ethereum here. This Ethereum trade is $761 in the profit. And the rest of these trades here are in a loss. I've got a long position on Ethereum, a long position on Nxra, and a long position on Solana. All of those positions right now are losing money. Nothing significant, nothing particularly interesting. So from that perspective, what are we going to do about the price of Bitcoin, and how are things looking? Because on the 1-minute chart, we did previously have this inverse head and shoulders pattern. If I'm to zoom out here and go to the 1-hour chart right now, we have a larger inverse head and shoulders pattern, with the left shoulder being here, the right shoulder being here, the head being here, and you've got your nice inverse head and shoulders pattern on the price of Bitcoin. At the same time as that, this yellow line going downwards here, that is a level of resistance, and we came up earlier today and we retested it and we got rejected off it. Again, every time we're hitting this level, we're getting rejected from it. However, at some point in time, it's likely that we do break to the upside of it. So from that perspective, we need to be looking at a bunch of different things, and you'll see that I've loaded up a bunch of tabs here at the top of the screen in today's video. And so today we're going to be looking through what is going on in the stock market, what is going on in Ethereum, and we're going to be analyzing about 5 different altcoins as well in today's video to assess if there are any decent altcoin trades that we could be taking right now. So if you are interested in that, again, slap a like on this video. So first things first, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is at a level that you would expect it to get rejected from or break above. It's a very pivotal level. From that perspective, how is Ethereum performing? Well, Ethereum's current price is $2,318, and it is at another key level of resistance. This dotted sloping line that you see here is an important line that we do need to maintain trading above. Currently, we're trading just slightly below it, and you can see that this is a long-term level of resistance that if we're to break to the upside of it, you'd expect that W reversal pattern to take place, and from there, you'd expect Ethereum's price to pump up back into this $2,480 range. So from there, Ethereum's not actually looking that bad, and I'm quite optimistic about my Ethereum position. I've got no intention of closing either of these two positions in the next 24-hour period unless we start looking like we're going to drop to the downside. So what are those downside levels that we need to be keeping an eye on right now on the price of Ethereum? The key one would be we need to maintain this lower level of support. And the lower level of support is sitting kind of in this range right here, which would be, I need to close my positions if we drop below the level of $2,278. So drop below $2,278 likely means that we've got lower to go. And as it is right now, we are kind of trading no man's land. It's not the most accurate way of trading, but as I have explained at the start of today's video, we're in all of these narrowing ranges. You'll see these narrowing ranges in every single chart that we're in right now. These narrowing ranges mean that your profitability gets less because your volatility gets less. And ultimately, things are going to happen pretty soon for Bitcoin. It's just a case of when and where they're going to happen. So on the price of Bitcoin, what can we expect? Because Bitcoin is the big daddy. It is going to drive the market. So from there, if we go to the 5-minute chart and look at what's going on, you can see that we're just chopping around in this range. Bitcoin either needs a break above this level of resistance up here at $43,200 or a break below the level down here of $42,300. Within this range, which is essentially, if we look at it right here, it's only a 2% range. I know that you get these $1,000 drops in such short periods of time in crypto at the moment, but these $1,000 ranges, they're not actually huge percentage moves. And so don't get distracted, or when you see like a $500 drop, it's not actually that big. I know it feels big because it's $500, but it's not actually that big. So it's important to not get caught up with the emotional side of trading and just trade the chart. That's the best thing to be doing right now. And if you do enter into a loss, keep an eye on those levels of support. And if you do drop below those levels, cut the trade. Don't hold on to the trade because it can run down. And if Bitcoin starts running down at these levels, we could end up at $37,000 in the next week or so. Why $37,000, you might ask? Well, if we go over here to the daily chart on the price of Bitcoin and look at what's going on, $37,000, if I'm to draw it on the chart, is this level right here. That is the lower end of the range that we're currently in. And if I'm to delete these words, so you get rid of them there, you're able to see that that would be a quite significant drop off from where we're at currently. If I'm to measure the size of that drop, that'd be a 12% drop in the price of Bitcoin, which would not be favorable, but it would also somewhat make sense. And also from the perspective of, look, Bitcoin just absolutely loves a good inverse head and shoulders pattern. Perceivably, we could end up with something like this where we drop all the way down to the lower level of support down here, down at $30,000, should we lose the levels of support that we're at right now. It's interesting. So Bitcoin is in an interesting place. We aren't that far away from Bitcoin halving. We're about 8 weeks away now from Bitcoin halving. There's really not that long left to go. So what's going to happen? I honestly don't know. And the range right now that we're in is a very kind of contentious range. We can only trade the resistance and support level. There isn't really a lot else to go off right now. You could be looking at order flow. You could be looking at a bunch of different things. From my perspective, the best thing to be doing right now is not looking at Bitcoin, not looking at Ethereum. It is to be looking at the altcoin market. But before we can look at that, we need to assess how the stock market closed out yesterday. The stock market closed out yesterday at these levels. It closed down, which is not great news for us. At the same time, a couple of things that are affecting the prices right now is, over the course of the past week or so, the 15-year fixed rate mortgage average in the United States rose by about 0.1%. That's not favorable because it means the cost of borrowing has risen once more. At the same time as that, we're seeing a continual decline in the amount of money in circulation. This is a weekly chart here, and this, although it doesn't look like a long period of time on a chart, this is 2021, so this is when we all got locked inside. This is right now. You can see that since April of 2022, we've been dropping in terms of the amount of money in supply. This is bearish for markets because ultimately less money in supply means less liquidity. It means overall lower prices across the board, and it's not a bullish thing to be seeing. Seeing this continually going down with no money printing essentially means that things aren't going as well as what it would be nice if they were doing. You have this continual decline in the amount of money, meaning the interest rates as well, they're going higher and higher and higher because it's not great news. At the same time as all of this happening, you can see that the DXY is continually rising in value because you've got a declining amount of currency in circulation, meaning the currency in circulation is rising in price. And all of these things don't mean great things for the crypto markets, but that's not to say that things won't get better. Solana is starting to bounce. I imagine the network is probably fixed at this point in time, but I'm looking at a bunch of different altcoin trades right now. The first one would be Frontier. Frontier is back at the bottom of the range, and from my perspective, it probably makes sense to be making a buy at these levels. At 42 cents right now, I'm not selling any Frontier, and I've purchased $100,000 of Frontier because for me, I want to invest in things that I think are going to stand the test of time, but not only stand the test of time, become very profitable in a bull market. I know that Frontier have got a lot of news coming up in Q1 of this year, and so from that perspective, I think that news is going to have an impact on price. We've already seen the price spiking up several times and then getting sold into, but I think that it's not over yet. Nxra is another trade right now that's holding up very, very well, and it's back at the bottom of the range, but yet to break below the bottom of the range. And bottom of this range here, for me, makes sense to start accumulating again somewhere around 11 cents. Chainlink has been pumping, and I'm considering taking a short position on Chainlink right now because if we do flip bearish just temporarily, it's quite likely that Chainlink drops back inside of this pattern here. And the bottom of this pattern here would sit somewhere around $13, which would be a pretty big drop off in the price of Chainlink. Now, although I'm very bullish on the long-term future of Chainlink, in the short term, that's not to say we couldn't have a decline in price. And of course, Elrond continually just drops in price every day. So from that perspective, Elrond is actually on the top side of what is a bull flag pattern here. It's a long bull flag, and it's kind of more like just a trading range at this point in time. This is the 4-hour chart, and this is kind of the start of December down here, and this is where we are right now. So it's like a 2-month period in which this price action has happened. But we are at a level, to me, that probably makes sense to buy a little bit more Elrond, or at least take a small long position on Elrond. So I'm considering that as well. When it comes to what's happening in the world of crypto today, if we look over at the current big news, which is that the Shanghai stock market has been crashing recently. I know that it says 3% up there, but if we look here at the longer term chart, you can see that we've got a continual drop off. Oh no, I've lost it there. Let's go over to the 3-year chart for the Shanghai Composite Index. You can see that there's basically been a lot of complaints over in China that the stock market just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. This is a lot to do with the Evergrande thing and the fact that a lot of these Chinese property developers don't have a lot of money right now and have been losing a lot of money. So that's why that's been happening. This has then created all of these news headlines like China stock posts more wild swings after Beijing's stability vow, and angry Chinese take to US Embassy's social media account to vent about plunging stock market. Gemini has said that crypto lender Genesis moves to sell Grayscale Bitcoin Trust assets, which is not great news for crypto because it does mean that we're going to see more Grayscale Bitcoin getting dumped on the market. And as I've covered in previous videos now, the amount of Grayscale Bitcoin being sold it's unsustainable, and if they keep selling it at that pace, then there won't be any Bitcoin left in that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust in the next 179 days. That's not very long. That's about half a year. So in half a year, Grayscale might not exist. If the Grayscale holders of GBTC keep selling, Grayscale just won't exist anymore. In other news, Bitcoin is becoming a suitable substitute for gold, according to ARK's Kathy Wood. And if you are interested in joining Crypto Saving Expert Plus, use the discount code in today's video description. I asked the guys at Crypto Saving Expert to make a 10% discount code for the next, or up till the 15th of February. So if you've been considering Crypto Saving Expert Plus and you want to join the Discord group, that's where I post all of my trades. I'm back posting in there every single day right now, and I'm trying to make as much money as possible. So join Crypto Saving Expert Plus. You'll find a link for it in today's video description. If you are interested in trading, check out Phemex. I do copy trading on Phemex as well, but you can only copy my copy trading account if you sign up on the link in today's video description. It won't work otherwise. And on that note, guys, what do you think? Are you bullish or are you bearish on the price of Bitcoin right now? We're at a very contentious time, but I think buying at these prices probably makes more sense, just because I feel like selling now, I feel like we're going to have one more run up and then a big run down. I still feel like we're going to have a run down before Bitcoin halving though. So what do you think? Let me know. I'm going to have a chat with a few of you in the comment section. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.